Hey, I'm so glad you joined me today. This is my sweet friend Joanna.
Hi everybody!
Joanna, what are we doing in my kitchen today?
Today we are making soy wax candles. Soy wax is amazing, it's eco-friendly, renewable, and a lot better for the environment.
That sounds amazing. Oh, Joe, you have a candle shop. Tell us about that.
I do. I have an Etsy shop called Kid in a Candle Store where I sell all of my soy wax creations. And this one right here is Holiday Cranberry. It's a nice holiday scent available in my shop.
I wish you could smell this on video. It's so nice. We'll leave a link down below where you can find Kid in a Candle Store. You're going to want to run over there and buy some candles as Christmas gifts or treat yourself. It's going to be awesome and help put this girl through college. So show me what to do.
Okay, so first we are going to be using these 9-ounce jars. These hold 9 ounces of fluid wax, but in soy wax form they hold 7 ounces. So we are doing 2 candles. I have 7 ounces of soy wax in here and 7 in here, and we are just going to add it all together. And this is a pouring pot, great for melting down wax easily and quickly.
Awesome. So now what?
We bring it over there.
Okay.
All right, so we are just about there. It's almost done melting. And when it gets to this point, you can go ahead and take it out. So the hot wax will melt the leftover wax in there. And we're gonna go and bring it over back to the counter. All right, so we're back at the counter. The wax is now all melted. We're gonna test to see what the temperature is. By the way, if you're interested, we will leave links down below so you guys can go ahead and get these to make your own candle. It is about 165 degrees. So some websites will recommend that you add your fragrance at about 185 degrees, which you can do that, but as you pour the hot wax into your jars, it does take a long time for it to set up. And while it is setting up and sitting there in liquid form, it is burning off all of that fragrance oil that you just put in there. So instead, what I'm going to do is let it sit until it gets to about 125 degrees. Then I will add my fragrance, and as soon as I pour it into the jar, within a couple minutes, it should start setting up. And that way it will trap in all of that fragrance and give you a stronger candle.
You are so smart. I'm so excited.
Thank you, thank you. So while it is setting up and getting to 125 degrees, we can actually go ahead and wick our jars. So these are the wicks I'm using. These are Eco 16 wicks, and they're really good because they don't have any zinc in them. They're all natural wicks, and I'm adhering it to my jar. I'm just using a hot glue gun. You can use wick stickers, whatever you prefer. I've seen people use tape. It just kind of depends on what you prefer. And I'm gonna place it right here in the middle of my jar. Make sure that's centered. And then I will go ahead and do the next one. Finding the best wick size for your jar is very important because there are different wick sizes depending on how big your jar is. And if you get one that's too small, it will allow your jar to tunnel. And that essentially is when the wick is not strong enough, so the wax doesn't burn an entire pool. So it just kind of slowly tunnels and tunnels until it burns out the wick. So you want to make sure that you have the right size so your candles burn evenly and properly.
That is so helpful. I did not know there were different size wicks for making candles.
Yes, there are. And now that we have them wicked, we'll go ahead and continuously stir our wax until it gets down to 125 degrees.
So I'm really excited about these candles because Joanna makes specialized candles for special events. Tell us about that.
Yes, so if you want a personalized candle just for you, a friend, or you have a party, something that you're going to plan, you can definitely email me at kidinacandlestore@gmail.com, and we can definitely work on a design and something to give your candles a little personalized touch.
So do you do it for weddings?
I do it for weddings as well.
That's awesome. Wedding favors. That would be really nice.
It would.
So today she is making the Ginger Optimist candle.
Yes, and we did a custom label for that too, which you guys will get to see.
Yes, and we are using sweet orange essential oils. Anybody that really knows me and it comes in my home almost always smells like sweet oranges.
Yeah.
So this is going to be the perfect candle.
It is, and because we're using essential oils instead of fragrance oils, the candle is all natural, which is great for burning in your home. Alright guys, so we are back and our wax is now down to about 125 degrees. It's about time to add our fragrance, but before we do, I just wanted to show you guys that we switched out one of the glass jars for this amber jar just because we thought the label would pop on it and look really cute. So you get to see how it would look on two different design jars. These are still the same size. So we have the fragrance now. We are going to add in our fragrance oil, our essential oil, and what I do is a 10% fragrance load. That's about the maximum I can do for this type of wax. The reason being is that soy wax does have a harder time holding onto fragrance. So when I load it up a little bit more, it will be a lot of a stronger candle. So we have 0.70 ounces per 7 ounces of wax. Because we're doing 14 ounces, we're going to add both of them. And these are 2. And this is another 0.70 of an ounce. And once we have them incorporated, we're going to mix for about 2 minutes and then we'll pour it into our jars. Okay, so the fragrance has been incorporated. We mixed it for about 2 minutes and now we're going to pour it into our jars. When you're pouring it, you don't want to create too many bubbles, so you want to pour it a little bit slow.
Smells so good.
And then a little trick that you can do is you can slightly tap the wax on the counter a couple times just to get out some of those bubbles. And then we are going to use our wick centering devices. These, you really don't need to use these. I would actually prefer using maybe a jumbo clothespin, or you can even use a pencil. But these are just going to keep the wicks in the center while the wax dries. Now after it's dried, we're going to go ahead, label it, and put on our warning label, and let it sit. Now, it is technically recommended that you do let your candles cure for about 1 to 2 weeks before lighting them. I personally have not noticed a difference between curing my candles and lighting them a few days after. So I would recommend letting your candles sit for about 3 days to a week just to be safe. Different fragrances act differently, so just to be safe, leave your candles for about 3 days to 1 week before lighting them. Alright, once our candles set up, we will come check back on them and then we'll put on the labels. The candles have been sitting for about 20 to 30 minutes and they have now set up, as you can see. You may be able to see that there are some imperfections on the top of the candle. That's something that's just going to happen with soy wax. What you can do, I would recommend letting them sit for about 24 hours and then you can take a heat gun and go over the top. Make sure that you do it about a foot above, or anywhere from 6 inches to a foot above the top of the candle, and constantly move it around because you don't want to burn your fragrance off of the top of the candle.
Could you use a blow dryer?
You don't want to use a blow dryer because what that does is that will blow your wax all around your counter. You don't want to do that. So a heat gun really is the best thing. You can get them on Amazon and I'll link mine down below for around $20, and that will allow your candles to get a nice smooth top. And then what you want to do then is trim your wick to 1/4 of an inch. I'm just using these little scissors that I got off of Amazon as well. And you can measure it if you want to be exact, but I've kind of gotten an eye for it now. Alright. And then, once your wick is trimmed, we can go ahead, put the cap on. And we will also go ahead and put on our label.
You create and design your own labels, right?
Yes, I do. This is a custom one that I did for the Ginger Optimist. Let me get that right in the center. And then also what you want to do if you're giving these as gifts or giving them away, you do want to put a warning label sticker on the bottom. And this is just going to give them all the proper instructions on how to burn their candle. And then you have a finished product.
Oh, it's so cute. All right. Okay, so Joe, I noticed that this one, did you use colorant in here? Because I know the answer, but just so people can know, I noticed this is kind of a yellow where the holiday cranberry is white. I don't know if you can, I think you can see the difference there.
Yeah, so it all comes down to what you're using. In this one, I did use a fragrance oil that didn't have anything that discolors. The essential oil, being that it is natural, does tend to discolor a little bit, giving us this yellow color. But no, we did not use any dyes. Some fragrances do have the tendency to discolor. It just all depends on what you use, but you can test them and see if you like the results.
I think it's beautiful. Ah, I'm so excited. I can't wait till it cures and I can burn my sweet orange candles.
Yes.
And if you want one of these, and you even want one that says the Ginger Optimist, you want to have the Ginger Optimist sweet orange candle burning in your home, hit JoJo up. Oh, I called you JoJo. I hope that's okay.
That's okay.
Hit Joanna up on Kid in a Candle Store. Again, we'll leave that link down below.
You can always email me for personalized or custom orders.
Thank you so much for watching the Ginger Optimist. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and show us some love by hitting that like button. If you're not following me already, I hope you will. Have a great rest of your day, my friend, and I'll see you on the next video. God bless. Bye.